My name is Emma, and this is my story. It is a story about love, loss, hope, and the teacher who changed my life forever. I was born in a small town called Riverside. My childhood was not easy. My father left when I was only 3 years old. My mother worked 2 jobs to pay for our small apartment. She worked at a restaurant in the morning and cleaned offices at night. I rarely saw her. Most days, I came home from school to an empty house. I made my own dinner, usually just bread and cheese. Then, I did my homework alone at the kitchen table. I felt lonely every single day. I had no friends at school. The other children had nice clothes and new toys. They talked about their family vacations and birthday parties. I had nothing to share. My clothes were old and too small. My shoes had holes in them. The other kids laughed at me. They called me names. Poor Emma, they said. Dirty Emma. I ate lunch alone every day. I cried myself to sleep most nights. When I was 8 years old, everything changed. A new teacher arrived at our school. Her name was Miss Anderson. She was young and beautiful, with kind brown eyes and a warm smile. On her first day, she stood in front of our class and said, "I am here to help you learn, but more importantly, I am here to help you believe in yourselves." I did not understand what she meant at first, but Miss Anderson was different from other teachers. She noticed me. She saw that I sat alone. She saw my torn clothes and sad eyes. After class one day, she called me to her desk. "Emma," she said softly, "I see you. I see that you are struggling. I want you to know that you are special. You are smart and kind, and you deserve to be happy." No one had ever said such words to me before. Tears filled my eyes. Miss Anderson gave me a gentle hug. From that moment, I loved her. She became the most important person in my life. Miss Anderson started helping me after school. She taught me reading and mathematics. She brought me books from her own home. She even gave me some of her old clothes, which fit me perfectly. She said, "Everyone deserves to feel good about themselves." But Miss Anderson did more than teach me lessons. She taught me about life. She told me stories about brave people who overcame difficulties. She said, "Your past does not define your future, Emma. You can be anything you want to be." For the first time in my life, I felt hope. I started working harder in school. My grades improved. I began to smile more. Other children noticed the change in me. Some of them started talking to me. I made my first real friend, a girl named Sophie. We ate lunch together and played during break time. Life was finally getting better. But then something terrible happened. One cold November morning, Miss Anderson did not come to school. A substitute teacher stood in her place. We waited all day, but Miss Anderson never arrived. The next day, she was absent again. On the third day, our principal came to our classroom. Her face was very serious. "Children," she said, "I have sad news. Miss Anderson is very sick. She is in the hospital. We don't know when she will return." My heart broke into 1,000 pieces. I felt like my world was ending. After school, I ran all the way home. I burst through the door and fell into my mother's arms, sobbing. My mother held me tight. She had finally heard my cries. "What's wrong, my darling?" she asked. I told her everything. I told her about Miss Anderson, about how she had helped me, about how much I loved her. My mother's eyes filled with tears, too. "I am so sorry, Emma," she said. "I have been working so much that I forgot to see you. I forgot to ask about your life. I am a bad mother." "No, Mama," I said. "You work hard for us. I understand now." Miss Anderson taught me that everyone is fighting their own battles. That night, my mother and I talked for hours. She told me about her struggles, about how she was afraid and lonely too. we cried together, and then we laughed together. We made a promise to spend more time with each other. It was the beginning of a new relationship between us. But I could not stop thinking about Miss Anderson. Every day, I asked if there was news about her. Every day, the answer was no. Weeks passed. Christmas came and went. I felt so sad during the holiday season. I made a card for Miss Anderson with hearts and flowers on it. I wrote, "Please get better. I love you. From Emma." My mother helped me mail it to the hospital. I prayed every night that Miss Anderson would read it and feel my love. In January, a miracle happened. Miss Anderson returned to school. She was thin and pale, and she moved slowly, but she was alive. When I saw her walk into the classroom, I ran to her and hugged her tightly. "Miss Anderson, you came back." She smiled, though her eyes looked tired. "I promised I would come back, Emma. I would never leave you." But I could see that she was still sick. She tried to teach, but sometimes she had to sit down because she was too weak to stand. She coughed often. The other teachers looked worried. One day after class, I asked her, "Are you going to be okay?" Miss Anderson took my hand. "Emma, I want to tell you something important. I am sick, and the doctors don't know if I will get completely better. But I want you to know that meeting you made my life better. You gave me a reason to fight. You made me remember why I became a teacher." "Please don't leave me," I whispered. "Emma, listen carefully," she said. "Even if I am not here physically, I will always be with you in your heart. Everything I taught you, every word of encouragement, every belief I have in you, those things will stay with you forever. Promise me that you will keep trying, keep learning, keep believing in yourself. Promise me that you will make something beautiful of your life." "I promise," I said, tears streaming down my face. Miss Anderson taught for 2 more months. She gave everything she had to us, her students. She told us stories, encouraged us, believed in us. But in March, she collapsed in the classroom. An ambulance came and took her away. We never saw her again. 2 weeks later, the principal called me to her office. Miss Anderson had passed away. I felt like a part of me died too. I cried for days. I could not eat. I could not sleep. I felt angry at the world. Why did bad things happen to good people? Why did Miss Anderson have to die? It was not fair. My mother stayed home from work to take care of me. She held me while I cried. She said, "Grief is love with nowhere to go." You loved her so much, and that love is still inside you. Miss Anderson would want you to use that love to become the person she believed you could be. Slowly, very slowly, I began to heal. I went back to school. I looked at the empty desk where Miss Anderson used to sit. I remembered her words, "Your past does not define your future." I decided to honor her memory by keeping my promise. I studied harder than ever. I read every book I could find. I helped other students who were struggling just as Miss Anderson had helped me. I became the student she always believed I could be. Years passed. I finished elementary school with top grades. In middle school, I joined the debate team and the book club. I made many friends. My mother and I grew closer every year. She reduced her work hours so we could have dinner together every night. We talked about everything, school, dreams, and always about Miss Anderson. When I was 14, something wonderful happened. My mother met a kind man named Robert at her work. He was gentle and funny. He treated both of us with respect and love. A year later, they got married. For the first time, I had a real family. Robert was not my biological father, but he loved me like a daughter. He came to all my school events. He helped me with homework. He told me he was proud of me. Life was good, but I never forgot Miss Anderson. I kept her picture in my room. I read the books she had given me over and over. I remembered every lesson she taught me. When I was 17, I had to choose what to study in university. Everyone expected me to become a doctor or lawyer, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a teacher. I wanted to help children the way Miss Anderson had helped me. My mother cried when I told her. She would be so proud of you, she said. I studied hard and got accepted to a good university. I majored in education. I learned about child psychology, teaching methods, and classroom management. But the most important lessons I already knew, the ones Miss Anderson had taught me about kindness, patience, and believing in every child. During my final year of university, I did my student teaching at a school in a poor neighborhood. The children there reminded me of myself at their age. Many had difficult home lives. Many felt invisible and unimportant. There was one girl, a quiet 9-year-old named Maria, who sat alone every day. She wore old clothes and never smiled. The other children ignored her. When I saw her, I saw myself. I called Maria to my desk after class one day. "Maria," I said gently, "I see you. I see that you are struggling. I want you to know that you are special. You are smart and kind, and you deserve to be happy." Maria looked up at me with tears in her eyes. In that moment, I felt Miss Anderson's presence. I was continuing her work, passing on her love and wisdom to a new generation. I worked with Maria every day after school. I helped her with reading and mathematics. I gave her books and encouraged her. I told her stories about people who overcame difficulties. I told her about a teacher I once had who changed my life. Maria began to transform. Her grades improved. She started making friends. She began to smile. By the end of the school year, she was a completely different child. On the last day of my student teaching, Maria gave me a card. Inside, she had written, "Thank you for seeing me. I love you." From Maria. I held that card and cried. I understood now. This was Miss Anderson's true gift. She had not just helped me. She had started a chain of love that would continue forever. Every child I helped would someday help someone else. Miss Anderson's love would ripple through time, touching lives for generations to come. I graduated from university with honors. I got a job teaching 3rd grade at the same school where I had met Miss Anderson. I requested her old classroom. The principal, who had known both of us, approved immediately. "She would be very happy to know you are here," she said. On my first day as a real teacher, I stood in front of my class, in Miss Anderson's classroom, and said the same words she had said. "I am here to help you learn, but more importantly, I am here to help you believe in yourselves." I have been teaching now for 5 years. Every day, I try to be the teacher that Miss Anderson was to me. I look for the lonely children, the ones who sit in the back and hope no one notices them. I see them. I tell them they are special. I help them believe in themselves. I have had many students, and I have loved them all. Some go on to do great things. Others struggle. But every single one knows that someone believed in them, that someone saw their worth. My mother and stepfather come to my classroom sometimes. They see how I teach, how I care for my students. My mother always cries. "You became exactly who you were meant to be," she says. I keep a picture of Miss Anderson on my desk. My students often ask about her. I tell them her story. I tell them that one teacher can change a life, and that one life can change the world. Last week, I received a letter. It was from Maria, the student I had helped during my student teaching. She is 16 now, and doing well in high school. She wrote, "Dear Miss Emma, I want you to know that you changed my life. Because of you, I believe in myself. Because of you, I want to become a teacher too. I want to help children the way you helped me. Thank you for seeing me. Love, Maria." I read that letter over and over. I felt Miss Anderson smiling down on me. The circle was complete. Her love continued to grow and spread through the world. Tonight, as I write this story, I look at Miss Anderson's picture. I am 26 years old now. It has been 18 years since I met her and 13 years since she died. But she is still with me every single day. She is in every word of encouragement I give. She is in every hug I offer a crying child. She is in every book I share. She is in every life I touch. Miss Anderson taught me that we all have the power to change lives. We all have the power to see people, really see them, and help them believe in themselves. She taught me that love is the greatest lesson of all. I loved my teacher. She saved my life. And now I spend my life saving others, just as she did. This is my story. This is her legacy. This is love that never dies. Now that you've seen the whole story, we would really appreciate it if you rate it from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your thoughts help us improve and make sure we bring you the kind of stories you truly enjoy.